Hey y'all, it's Katie. Welcome back to From My Vanity. Today's video is going to be my makeup monthly review for December, and I can't believe at the end of the year it's already here, but it is go time. Because I am going to be having a baby very soon, I'm going to be meshing my makeup monthly review for December and kind of my Shop My Stash follow-up. I did Shop My Stash for December and put a lot of products in front of me to try out through the month of December. So basically what I'm going to go is I'm just going to focus on my everyday makeup drawer that I created in the Shop My Stash for December and just tell y'all all the products that I tried and review it for you in this makeup monthly review. So I hope that's okay that I'm combining the two because I'm not sure when I will get a chance to do another Shop My Stash. I definitely know I'm going to be skipping it for January, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to get back into it in February. So that is what we're doing today, so let's just dive right in. Okay, I'm literally just pulling out the drawers and then just going to talk about the stuff that is in here. Also, if I sound at all nasally or congested, I am so sorry, but I'm coming down with something of a cold, I think, so I'm sorry. So the first product I want to talk about is It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Illumination. Now, I tried this. I wasn't really sure I would like it. I was like 99% sure I wouldn't like it, and I was right. I like the Bye Bye Pores, but this Illumination version, it does what it says. It kind of gives you an illumination, and I don't want that under my eyes for me personally. I don't like shimmer under my eyes, and I did try to use it a couple times as a highlight, but it left too much of a white streak on my face, and then when I buffed it out, my daughter's awake, so she might be talking. But when I went and buffed it out to get rid of the white streak, I really couldn't see anything. So this just overall product was a dud. Maybe if you have really dry skin or really mature skin, something like this that gives you illumination might be nice to kind of lightly set all over your face. So this was a fail from this month. Next up, I finally have the Smashbox Spotlight palettes that Smashbox collaborated with Casey Holmes on. I've been meaning to get my thoughts on this together. Do you need both of them? No, I don't think so. I'm wearing the Pearl, these two shades kind of mixed together on my cheeks today. So I really like the finish you get. I do like that this, a lot of times I'll go in and I'll just kind of do a mix of all of them. Or, you know, I rarely just do one. I usually do at least two, or sometimes I just kind of swirl my brush in all three and then just highlight, and it's nice and quick and easy, and yeah, it gives you, I like the highlight it gives me. This one, I feel like has a little bit of a chunkiness to it, like almost chunky, not glitter, but just chunkier, I don't know, shimmery particles, so not my absolute favorite. Overall, this was definitely a win, and this is a nice palette. So. Then the other thing I tried this month was the Iylure Cosmetics London It's a brow powder wax and highlight powder, along with the little applicator. Number one, these are hard to open. I always struggled whenever I would open these. I only use this a handful of times because I'm not the biggest into brow powders and pomades and that kind of thing. I'd much rather like an eyebrow pencil and then just some kind of like brow mascara to set it, and I'm good. That's just kind of my preference. But overall, I mean, I think it performed fine. No issues there. This is a really nice powder I would use to set my eyeshadow primer with, and I really did like it for that. But yeah, overall, this was just okay. It's not like a favorite of mine this month, but I didn't think it was a bad product. So, also very quickly, I wanted to touch on the new Wet n Wild like reformulated eyeshadows that they came out with their color icons. I have full in-depth reviews on all of these on my blog right now, so I will link it down below. So if you want to know my thoughts on these palettes, definitely check out my review. A couple more products from Iylure. This is their Brow Control and Shape Gel. It worked fine. It's just a clear gel. It's really hard for me to determine if it does anything or if it doesn't do anything, but I didn't notice my brows being all crazy, but I've had them, they've been trimmed pretty short this past month, so not really, it's not like I had a lot to put to the test, like really long brow hairs that I wanted to make sure laid flat. So, I don't know, it's a clear brow gel. I'm not really sure what else you can say about it, but I didn't hate it. Then I had the Eylure Brow Luminiser. It's a matte and shimmer dual-ended stick. I didn't really use this that much. I used it a handful of times. The shimmery side was nice. I kind of used it a couple times to highlight my inner corner. And then the brow was also nice, but I don't do that much with my brows. So I'm not that person like the Instagram eyebrows where I'll sit there and kind of shape them out and carve them out, where I need something like this. So I feel like I'm the worst person to review this. But for me, I'll probably be passing this along just because I won't get enough use out of it to, you know, justify keeping it. But I don't think it was horrible. And then last up from Iylure, I was trying their brow pencil in number 10 dark brown. This, I thought I liking it. It's just a pencil, you sharpen it. But I thought it was fine. I thought I would give it, you know, a good review. But I actually switched back the last couple days to other brow pencils in my collection. And I found that this doesn't give the most smoothest application when I'm running it through my brows. It almost skips a bunch. And it's not very creamy. Overall, I don't know. It was just okay. I have one more brow product to share. I know, a lot of brows this month. But this is the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro HD Brow Pencil. And these pencils just aren't my go-to or the kind that work the best for me. I have very thick brows and they are decently filled in. So the fact that this is so itsy bitsy, like I have to sit there for forever to fill in all my brows. And I just feel like that's such a waste of product because you don't get much in this pencil to begin with. And so I feel like I go through half the tube just doing both of my brows. So this, I don't need it. Like, I'm not someone who needs to sit there and create the little brow hairs. If you did, I think this is a fantastic formula, and it being BH Cosmetics, it's a good price. Then I tried the It Cosmetics Superhero Liner. I was so excited to try this because I'd heard so much about it, and you guys know I love wing liner. So when they came out with this, I was very intrigued. But I just finally got to try it, and I do like it. It's not the most pigmented, inkiest black, but if you're wanting that, you know, just pen liner, you shake it up and go to town, this works really well. Does it work any better than like my favorite liner from Jesse's Girl, from Physicians Formula, from Lorac? No, and those are, you know, Jesse's Girl and Physicians Formula are cheaper, but this does give a more matte finish at the end, whereas the Jesse's Girl and the Physicians Formula has a shiny finish to it. So if you like a matte finish look and you like the pen shake it up aspect, then this might be worth checking into. Overall, yes, I did like it. It is expensive though, so I'm not sure how quickly I'll be repurchasing it, but I do like it, I do recommend it, and I am excited to have it and continue using it. Okay, then I have a mascara, and this actually got halfway through the month, but I already kind of know my thoughts on it, so I was going to share it here. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Superstar X Fiber Mascara. It's one that has a primer, or just like a mascara, I believe, on one side, and then like a mascara with the fibers on the other. And it does work. It does give you more volume than some mascaras, but not enough to warrant the discomfort that I feel. Whenever I would wear this, just throughout the day, I just felt like there was something in my eye, and I think it was just the fibers. Not that they were falling out or anything, but just being that close to my eyes and opening and shutting it, it caused some irritation. And since it didn't give me like false lashes, it gave me a tiny bit more volume than other mascaras in my collection, but not enough to make it worth the discomfort. Alright, next up I had an eyeshadow palette. It was the Butter London and Pantone Color of the Year palette. I picked this up at Ulta a couple months ago. I think I did a unboxing here, or like a makeup haul, and shared it with y'all here on YouTube, so I can link it up here if you didn't see that. But I picked this up because it was on sale. And I like green eyeshadows, so I like, you know, this was a very bright green, but they also had a deeper green here. And so I used it a handful of times this month, and I really do like it. The formula and the texture of the shimmers specifically, but even the mattes in here, are a bit drier and not as like buttery as I remember like the formula that I tried from them. I think it's their Butter Clutch palettes. I'll try to link it down below. I remember the shadows being super nice, super buttery, easy to blend, and these mattes are very nice and easy to blend. They're just a tad bit drier, and then the shimmers are a lot drier than I remember the shimmers in the other palette being. But with all that in mind, it does blend nicely, it does give you nice pigmentation, and I was able to create a lot of really pretty eye looks, and I did a one day using this on just a pop of green on my lower lashes. I loved it, it was so pretty. But yeah, overall, I like this palette, especially since I got it on a discount. Alright, lashes. I think I picked out 3 to try and only tried 2. The first pair that I tried was the BH Studio Pro number 103, these lashes. I like that the band was so tiny and thin, and it was very easy to put on, and they're extremely lightweight, but I don't know if you can see, they're also just very wispy. So I put them on and you almost couldn't tell that I was wearing false lashes. They do give you a little bit more length, but they're so fine and don't do much for volume that you can't really tell if you have lashes on. So if you're wanting to start and just dip your foot into false lashes, this would be a good one to go for because the band's super thin. They're very like pliable, easily to bend, and I was able to pop these on no problem. And then the other pair that I tried was House of Lashes and Siren, and I really do like these. These definitely are more noticeable than the BH ones, but the band is still fairly thin, so I didn't have a problem applying them. For some reason, thicker bands just give me so much issue. But I was able to put these on. They didn't bother my eyes. They felt very light. They stayed on really well. Overall, I do like these, and I will be wearing them again and keeping them in my rotation whenever I feel courageous enough to wear false lashes. Two other products from BH Cosmetics were their glitter eyeliners, and I had Synergy and Riots, and these are really nice. They aren't as nice as the Urban Decay heavy metal glitter liners. If I tried to put these in my crease, you could feel some stick to it, and I could kind of see a little bit of transfer or just where it would wear off in my crease. But putting these like over my eyeliner or, you know, in place of my liner just right against my lashes, I didn't have any problems. But overall, I do like these. I don't know if they're phasing them out though, because I was trying to find them on their website, and I was having a lot of issues finding them on their website because I wanted to see the price comparison. But I don't know what's going on with that, but I like them, and I will continue to have them and use them in my collection. I also tried out another palette from BH Cosmetics. I like it more than I enjoyed the other BH Cosmetics palette, which I can link it up here when I did my monthly review. I think it was the Shan XO, her original collaboration. I feel like this palette was difficult to just get a complete look from. I felt like every time I was creating an eye look, I wanted to reach for another cool tone matte to use. And with these two shades, like these are both shimmers, they're so similar. So I just don't know why they stuck those two shimmers that are so close in color and didn't throw in another matte kind of transition or just another pop of matte color that I could have used. Yeah, overall, it's a nice palette. I think I'm just not really into the cool tones this year, so every time I reached for it, while I, you know, was fine, you know, I could get the looks fairly easily, I kind of just miss my warm tone shadows. So I think I will be pulling this back out maybe in a couple months to try again to just, you know, experience more maybe when I'm feeling that cool tone pool. But overall, I like it. It was an okay palette. It didn't blow my socks off with the quality. Next up, I tried one of the Smashbox PhotoFinish Foundation and Primer, and this has SPF 20. It was just okay. I didn't notice a huge difference. I always like to do two primers, so I do one primer to kind of just give me an overall smoothness and hopefully more lasting power to my foundation. And then I like to follow it up with a more targeted primer that's for mattifying, specifically in my T-zone, on my nose, and on my forehead and chin where I tend to have foundation wearing away. So this primer I just use mainly as that all over kind of smoothing. So I didn't notice a huge difference with it. It didn't do anything bad. It didn't make my foundation rub off quicker, and it has SPF 20, so I'll continue to use it, but it was just okay. I tried two foundations this month, and funny enough, they were both like light to medium coverage foundations, which if you guys don't know, I'm a very like full coverage girl, so it was different for me to be wearing so much light to medium coverage foundations. But the first one was the Makeup Forever HD Ultra HD foundation, but I've been wearing this a lot this past month. It's a really nice foundation shade. It's what I have on my face today, and I like it. It's very nice for the kind of everyday where you still want to see your skin kind of shining through, but you want to even out that, you know, your complexion and maybe give yourself a little bit of coverage. I didn't notice it wearing off any faster than, you know, typical, than a typical foundation or, you know, for a typical day. So it held up nicely, and I do enjoy it, and I think this is one of the very few light to medium coverage foundations that I have in my collection, but I'll continue to keep it, and I will continue to go through it and use it. But yeah, overall, I really like it. This was a favorite from this month. And then on the heels of that was the Bare Minerals Fresh Face Liquid Foundation. This is a really nice foundation. It's also more of that light to medium coverage. I love the aspect that it's made to fit, so I didn't have to bother with my foundation shade. I will say this might be a touch light than my neck because my face is lighter than my neck, but it also looked more natural, I feel like. But yeah, overall, this has been a nice foundation. I've worn it a lot this past month, and I've just really enjoyed how light it feels on my face, and it's really cool aspect that you can have the brand match your foundation for you. One thing I will say though is that when they match it to you, it has your name on it. There is no like, oh, we figured out you were shade Y245, so here you go. So when this runs out, it's not like I can go to Ulta or Sephora and go to the Bare Minerals and repurchase my shade. I'd have to go online to their app, do the same process to get that, you know, get that foundation again, which isn't a bad thing, but if you're wanting to like repurchase on sale or anything, I've never seen the app have a sale. Maybe they will. So just something to keep in mind if you are considering purchasing this, and it's something I've been thinking of as I'm using it up, because I think you can see I've used a good bit. And then for concealers, I tried the YSL All Hours Concealer, and I really do like it. It's what I have, what I use for my under eyes today, and it's more of a brightening. It's not like super full coverage, but it is very light on my skin, and it doesn't crease, and I like that aspect. Would I repurchase it? Probably not, because I can just repurchase the naked skin and save a little bit of money, but I will continue to enjoy it and use it, and this has definitely been a favorite this month. And then the other concealer I was trying was the Studio Pro Total Coverage Concealer, and this one I did use it a couple times underneath my eyes, but it was a bit thicker than I tend to prefer, but it is nice for like covering acne spots. I used it on my chin today, and it's still covering that zit up, so that's good. This is definitely one to check out, and one I would recommend if you're on a budget and wanting to try some very full coverage concealers at the drugstore. This is a good one. All right, let's move on to some lip products. We had several duds this month. First up was the BH Cosmetics liquid lipsticks. I have this and also a red shade. I just didn't like it because it was extremely drying. Like, it applied on fairly smooth and liquidy, but when it dried, it was like, it wasn't as thick as like cement on my lips, which I've tried some liquid lipsticks that are like that, but it just felt extremely drying, and almost like if I kind of moved and talked with my mouth, I would get cracks in my mouth, and it's extremely, extremely, extremely hard to get off. So for both colors, the red and this one, when I put it on and it started to wear away and I wanted to take it off, I basically had to remove my lips to remove this color. And if you're, you know, going to an event or something, they don't layer on top of themselves very nicely, and then they don't remove very easily. So I wouldn't recommend these for going anywhere, because they just aren't maintenance friendly. I don't know. I just didn't like it either way. These were a dud for me. And then I also tried the Makeup Geek Foil Lip Gloss. This was just a nightmare. It kept getting on my teeth the whole time. It would settle into every little crack and crevice on my lips and just look terrible. And it was not smooth. Like, it applies really nice and smoothly in the swatch, but if you have any kind of texture or flakiness to your lips, it does not apply smoothly over that at all. It's extremely patchy, and just sitting there trying to go back and forth to get it to be opaque and smooth and even all around your whole lips was a nightmare. And then yeah, I was getting it all over my teeth. There was glitter and shimmer everywhere. Just no, not for me. And on the heels of that was also this Butter London Glazen Lip Glaze. This is basically like putting glitter on your lips. Can we see that? Yeah. So if you like that, great. But for me, having very textured, dry lips right now in December, all those glitter particles just go underneath your flaky lips and look horrible. Like, so, I tried it by itself, She agrees with me. I tried it by itself. It looks so bad. And I tried to top it on top of a lipstick, and I couldn't really see a difference. Like, it gave a little bit of a shine to it, but I couldn't really see any of the iridescent sparkliness to it. So just overall, no. The BH Cosmetics lip liners, I had two. A red one, I believe, is down in my purse. And then this brown one in Muse. They're very creamy. Creamy to a fault, because the first time I tried to use this, I went to line my lips and I did too much pressure and broke off the tip, and I still haven't gotten around to sharpening this, but I used the red one, and it is very creamy and nice. I feel like I'm horrible at reviewing lip liners just because I don't use them very often, so I'm not really ever telling a difference when I do or don't use a lip liner. But if you're wanting to know creaminess and pigmentation, the red one was fantastic, and this one, when I started it, was very pigmented until it broke off. Overall, I think these are fine. No complaints, and they're affordable. Smashbox Be Legendary Matte Lipstick in Booked is what I have on my lips today, and I really, really do like it. These are very creamy, very comfortable, but give you that matte look. So with my lips being a lot dry and having issues right now, I've really been turning to these. There's another color I pulled out to try this month, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's down in my purse. But I really do like these, and I really do recommend these. I also tried the Smashbox, what was this called? Be Legendary Triple Tone Lipstick. And this is nice. It's the formula is like the same as their Be Legendary lipsticks. So my recommendation would just be to buy 2 of those lipsticks and then do an ombre yourself. I think the issue I had with this is that like you do your lips, which are, it's hard to do the Cupid's bow to begin with and like keep that ombre true. But then when you do your bottom lip, you have to like invert it and then go. It's just awkward and weird, and it was a cute idea, but I feel like it's a very unnecessary step. Just do a dark one and then swipe a little of the light one and then blend it with your finger. Alright, last up, let's just touch on 2 brush sets that BH Cosmetics sent me. The quality is very nice. I do like this. This is their Studio Pro line, and they come in a set, I want to say for like $10 or $20, I'm not sure. I would say that whatever brush that you think you would like and use, just purchase it individually. I want to say the brush is like $3 or $4 by itself. Because this brush, unless you like a really tiny, detailed, and stiff brush for foundation, it just was too small and too stiff. I didn't like it for applying foundation. And then for this was nice for blush, but it's just a little more domed and pointed than I prefer for blush, and then it's also a little smaller and more flimsy than I prefer for foundation. So these 2 brushes I feel like I don't use very often, but these 2 brushes I do, and I really do like them. This is really nice for bronzing up the perimeter of the face. If you like a big brush for blush, this is also really nice. Very smooth, very soft. I've washed it a couple times and haven't noticed any shedding. And then this brush, if you want that like wham bam in your face type of highlighter, do this in your highlighter and then do this and it's like wha-bam. This will give you an intense highlight, probably because it's so big, and it's also extremely fluffy. But this is a fantastic brush. Good on BH Cosmetics. This Pro brush line at least is really, really nice. And then last up, I have this brush set from BH Cosmetics once again, but it is their Illuminate brush set by Ashley Tisdale. I want to say this retails for $20. And if you like the brushes, this is once again, quality is nice. I haven't noticed any bristles shedding. They're all very smooth and soft, but just make sure you will like and use everything in this set in order to make it worth it. This is a really nice powder brush, but it's not my preference for applying my setting powder, so I don't get a ton of use out of it. This, once again, if you like a very light coverage, more of a stippling type of brush for your foundation, it is nice. Not my preference though, so I don't use it as often, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's like extremely flimsy, but it does give you that very light coverage and stippling effect you want. So those are probably the 2 least used from this set, and all the other brushes I do like. I'm sorry, she's holding one of my hands, so I'm having a hard time showing y'all. These 2 brushes are the, I don't even know if they have numbers. Yeah, the 4 and the 3 are really nice. This I applied my blush on, and it's very, once again, the bristles are really soft and smooth. They're not super tapered, so if you like a very tapered edge to your brushes, keep that in mind. But it applies my blush just fine. And then this I really like for contour. It's been really nice. And yeah, no complaints. Then this number 8 brush, which is an eyeliner brush, is actually a really nice one. And usually I feel like more inexpensive brushes are way too fat for this type of like liner brush, and they work more like as a brow product or brow brush to really get in there. But no, it's really, really nice and super thin. And then the last 3 brushes are these little eye ones, and this one right here is super nice for blending out. It's a little more pointed than I am used to or prefer, but it works just fine. I didn't really notice any issues there. This middle brush right here is also very nice for either packing color on the lid or just taking a matte shade right into your outer corner and packing and then blending that up. And then this is also a fantastic pencil brush to do just the same thing if you want to pack matte shadow onto your outer corner or to blend up under your eye. Oh, thank you. So with these 3 brushes, you can get a complete eye look. But yeah, overall, BH Cosmetics brushes are really, really nice, and I do recommend them, especially for the price. So I was very happy with BH Cosmetics brushes this month. And that wraps up my makeup monthly review. Hey, bye. You want to blow me a kiss? Yeah, she hasn't been in a video in a while. But yeah, that wraps up my makeup monthly review and shop my stash for December. Yeah, bye. The next time that we are on here for a makeup monthly review, we're going to have a little baby brother, aren't we? Yeah, itsy bitsy. We tell the baby's going to be itsy bitsy when he comes. But anyway, I hope this review was helpful to you. I hope I was able to be concise with all of my reviews. I feel like I can get very long-winded, but Yeah. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and we will see. She's blowing some vigorous kisses. We will see you very soon in, or at least I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye, guys.